whatever, that's cop out. But there's this constant panic. People want impoverishment. They're looking for a scapegoat, and what that scapegoat is the environment, the global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it, acid rain, fuel addiction, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I mean, civil. It could also be society is the scapegoat. You might want to think, oh no, it's just an individual. That's the cop out of the media mechanism, the singularity. The inner mechanism is this idea that we can divinely affect and nudge people without an invitation. Okay, the California actively invites people here all the time. We're just like begging them to come. Russia invites no one to there. Okay, never. They don't want. It's like my stomach is empty. And I'm holding this thing in my arms, which is just really makes me whatever. It's highly unhealthy. And I got hair dye washed out there. It's pretty good. I think I missed the back. I think I gotta redo that. It looks like I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I think I might have to do it again. I hope I don't have musk. That'll be horrible. I have a vision to save the world. Okay, if there is a place, obviously, perhaps obviously, if you don't like, if poetry is, if you realize the slippery slope of poetry and narcissism and poverty, okay, people, maybe the ego, maybe just pure poverty in California. And not having any assistance, not having a way out. You could go home, you could phone home, but if there's no one there for you, if there's no connection, if there's no position that you can identify with and balance so that you get the keystone of the bridge of diplomacy, of ambassadorial, realistic equations. You need to more than nudge. You have to actually, because I'm telling you that if there's no one actually saying come and be here, then the chances of you going there are bleak. Okay, everywhere I've ever gone, I've had basically a connection, or I've deeply regretted it. And who wants to regret traveling because they're taking some unprepared adventure? Who wants to pursue poverty? The solutions, yes, we can do. I have a complete vision, and what I was saying about poetry, psychiatric medication, definitely. And yet, it's my attitude is purely reaction. Okay, I'm not actually hearing any voices. I'm just struggling. I'm trying to hold this thing up. I don't have a keyboard. I'm an expert typer. I flunked English, but I learned how to type in school. And it's never about the virtual keyboard. So this is really, as a mainstay, it's no good. As a ease of tweeting, like if you have a precedent to send a tweet, go ahead and octopus it out there. Octopus sees a seashell crawling, the crab crawling around, he watches them, that's what a touchscreen is, a reptilian option. Okay, so you don't want to be stuck there. You want to have a normal civil society where you respect everything, where the important things have already been said. You're not waiting to say the important things as though, oh, you know, I'm gonna wait until until you're desperate, until poverty is like this total reality. That's what happened when Charlie Chaplin, after he was invited to California. You know, no one, again, is really invited away that we can really quantify. That, you know, again, is of this monosexual thing. So I mean, you talk about homophobia. I'd say it's monophobia, or American phobia. So George Washington, he's historical American. He doesn't have anywhere to go to. He was supposed to go, but his mother said, no, you know, that's too expensive. And it causes a debt. It causes a recession in their farm, and they go into debt and stuff like that, instead of, you know, because you have to have this element. You know, you have to make friends, and his mother didn't make friends. She was going for the money, and it's very tempting, you know, especially once information is flowing. GPS, when George Washington was a young man, it existed for the first time ever, so you could communicate globally and convey commerce on a whole nother level. Before, a ship would go off the horizon, and they don't know where they are. They could be anywhere practically anywhere on that latitude. They just don't know how far away they are to the east or the west. And with GPS, suddenly we had that information, and so you could start banking on that information, because it's there, the information, the knowledge. The ship is going to sail through the night and not run into the land, because they know where they're at. They go full steam. And so commerce is like this with the internet. It goes instantly. We know this because GPS really enables the whole thing, in a sense, global information. I'm looking at the clock here. Yeah, I wish I could edit this stuff. I don't know how to. I mean, I try to communicate with scientific information more than with words or with charm, or with attitude or tone, or any sort of thing that I'm conveying emotively with my voice, or reactively with the internet mechanism. You know, I'm trying to do the science, and you know, people who don't want to do the science, you know, they're, you know, we have to answer the question: are we trying to scapegoat the environment? Because that is what we know is at stake. It's prophetically at stake. It's like the stars. It's, if you believe in Jesus and the North Star, you know, it's all lined up. And so we know that the environment is prophetically and technically at risk. We just want to consume everything. Everyone wants cheap fuel. Oh, but let's raise the price. Very schizophrenic. You know, half the people just want free fuel so they can drive around in circles and say, "Oh, aren't I cool? Isn't this great?" But maybe they're not cool. Maybe they are dogs. Okay, maybe you know, this is the internet. You know, you could have nothing. You could have packs of dogs howling and chewing and you know, stepping in it, and you know, turning away and going, "Oh my God, no thank you." Or we could have human, angelic, conscious through technology. Okay, so the information being computed to what we really want to invite. Do we want a bunch of dogs to rule the world or something like that? You know, for us to behave like dogs? Anyone can do it. Or do we want to understand what our needs are, where we will behave? We'll all behave somewhere. And if we can crack those codes and then have the technology to convey that, this is really crucial, to access, to convey, to do it very safely, to do it with Mother Nature, not that dirty. To do it with technology, yes, Robo Woman. I think I got to see that movie. That's a computer chip. Computer chip. Where are you? I'm holding Frankenstein, walking, 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 walking. Where are you going? What are you doing? Frankenstein, can you help me? I'm serious. I have the answers. The answers! Okay? And I'm very cool, dude. I'm like totally gnarly. Dude, you don't even know, man. Okay, I do have the answers. I have the answers, and I don't want to see you naked. Okay. Later. I'm collecting women to go to Mars with me. It must be beautiful and funny. No, you must like stupid jokes, because that's what would be good, of course. So, catching my breath here, running around like a crazy kid. I have the answers to save the world. I know people are very frustrated. Okay, when I tell you in the 90s, I saw the stuff that as a teenager I thought was going to be my comeuppance, my hand-me-downs, whatever I thought, and I saw it going all to immigrants and Americans like myself. Not so much, not really so much at all, unless if there was some lesser element. Okay, I know you're thinking, what do you mean lesser? Frankenstein, what do you mean? And I'm just saying, what I'm saying is that because I am very intelligent, I want to see you naked. Power, right? And what's the IQ of a dog? Okay, that's the only question you have to answer. Me, I already know the answer. I'm not going to tell you because dogs are dogs. Okay, and especially the Frankenstein ones. Yeah, I think I didn't wash out the hair dye. It's gonna. Oh, there it is, right on my ear. You can see it, right? No, that's not. That's just a leaf. Anyways, I'm actually gonna put this on the internet. It's gonna be famous. Amazing. I grew up entirely